Hello, beautiful people. I am back with a new technique. Yes, you guys know that on my channel, if you don't know, actually, maybe if you're new, excuse me. Sorry if I assumed. But if you are new to my channel and you don't know, I do have a video showing you the baking method. And that video kind of went viral and it really started off my channel and it has done amazing. It's been on a lot of websites. Now, it's 2019. I almost said 2018. It's 2019 and we are out with the old and in with the news. Unfortunately, I don't bake anymore. I really don't use that technique anymore because I'm a little bit older now and we got some fine lines and sometimes we get some dry under eye and we need to use a new technique that will allow our makeup to still look fabulous, last long, and not look dry under the eyes, right? That's what we want. So this video is all about applying concealer, which concealer, how to apply it, and also how to set it to allow those who have more texture or more dry under eyes to allow it to look really good and just, make it look flawless and last long throughout the day. So that is what I'm going to be showing you guys today, what I do on myself personally, because during the winter time my skin does get more on the dry side, especially my under eye. If I'm lacking sleep, if I'm not keeping up with my skincare, especially my eye cream, that's what's going to happen to me. And I still do freelance, so I do makeup on clients and I do come across all different skin types. So this is definitely a technique I use on a client. It is a lot more steps that you're taking, but once you get the hang of it, it's going to be super fast, trust me. So if you guys want to see how to apply your concealer and set it correctly so that you do not have to walk around, like a Sahara desert under your eyes, then this is the video for you. Continue watching. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to this channel for more how-to videos, and also leave a comment down below letting me know if this video was helpful and what else you need help with, because I love doing these kind of teaching videos. And let's go ahead and get into it. So if you're having issues with your under eye being dry or dark circles, your first thing is skincare. That is going to definitely fix the problem, or at least make it a little bit better. Rather than just going in with makeup, skincare is really what's going to make this under eye a lot more hydrated for long term. And then when you apply your makeup, it's going to look a lot better than just going in with your concealer. I have been using this guy over here. This is the Lancome Advanced Genifique eye cream and I am obsessed with this product. I kind of go between this one and also the black tea eye cream from Fresh. They are both amazing. I do find that this one is a little bit more hydrating than that one, so that's why I've been using this one, because my under eye has been super dry over the last couple of weeks. So really make sure you're using your eye cream on a regular basis. So before I go ahead and do my under eye, I'm going to do my foundation. First of all, I'm using my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Base as my primer. Love this. It smells so good. It's like this citrusy scent. It really kind of wakes you up and it feels amazing on the skin, like really hydrating, which is what I need. Lately my skin is dry, not just like my under eye, but my entire face. It's winter here in Canada, so my skin definitely changes a lot. And then for foundation, I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation with SPF 15, and I do about 2 pumps all over the face, and that's pretty much good to go for me. So I like to take that and kind of dot it all over the face, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend this out with a sponge or a brush. For today I'm going to do a sponge, but either or, it blends out really nicely. So now our face is nice and done. Love this foundation. We did go ahead and hydrate the skin or the under eye with our eye cream, which is super important. And now we're going to go on to concealer. If you're color correcting, you want to do that before you go in with your concealer. Less is more with color correcting. Just go very light-handed, and then go with your concealer. But for today, I'm just going to focus on concealer. So I have two concealers here that I would definitely recommend if you have dry skin, normal skin, oily skin, but we're focusing on those who have issues with dryness under the eyes and applying concealer and also setting it. So this is the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. This is an amazing full coverage concealer that doesn't look heavy or cakey, and it doesn't have like a matte finish. It has more like a satiny finish, which is great. And then I have here the Aqua Luminous concealer from Becca, and this is more of a light to medium coverage. It's really glowy and hydrating. So if you have super dry under eye and you just want a little bit of coverage, this is amazing. It's a beautiful product. Definitely have to set it, but it's amazing. I like to kind of go in with both, and that's the way I've been applying my concealers. I kind of go with my full coverage because I need the coverage, and then I go in with the Becca because I want that luminosity and that very like natural finish under my eyes. So I take that and I apply it right under here. And a lot of people, I see them doing that whole triangle thing and going all the way up to the lower lash line. I don't do that because when you go ahead and blend the concealer, it's going to spread out. So you don't want too much product where it's going to start to look heavy under your eye. And then I take my Becca concealer, and this is going to really hydrate the bottom one. This is more of a lightweight coverage one, but it has this beautiful like luminosity to it. And I just apply that on top. To blend it out, I would definitely recommend using a sponge or your fingers. A brush is going to move the product around a little too much for those who have texture or dry skin, which is what we're focusing on. Also your finger, it warms up the product and blends it out nice and smoothly. I like to use a sponge because I normally don't use my hands when doing my makeup, but also I'm going to use this Morphe sponge. It is damp. Using a damp sponge is a lot better than using a dry sponge because it just blends the product a lot better. It takes off the excess that you have on, and it goes on a lot smoother. So I'm going to use this one, and when blending that product out, I just kind of pounce the sponge up and down. I never swipe the product. I just go ahead and pounce it up and down. Make sure you get the inner corners of your eyes because some people forget that area and you do have like a shadow there. So bringing that concealer all the way to the inner corner is going to make a really huge difference and give you more of like that wide awake appearance. So now that I'm blending it out, you guys can see that that concealer is pushing all the way up to the lower lash line. And so I didn't add product there. It's just blending it all the way up to that area. And then I do bring that down to where my pores are. So there we have the concealer all blended out. It looks beautiful. It's seamless. It's going with the foundation. You don't see any lines of demarcation. And that's why when I do apply concealer, I always go maybe a shade or a shade and a half lighter. I don't like to go too bright because it starts to look a little too unnatural in my opinion. And you can always brighten it up with some setting powder that has that brightening effect, but for concealer, this is the shade that I love to use. Now to set your concealer, you want to go in with a powder that is nicely finely milled and very soft. You never want something heavy duty and cakey because it's just going to ruin all that work that we did prior to applying that powder. So I'm going to show you a couple of powders that I think are perfect for those of you who have more of a drier skin because it's going to look really soft on the skin. It's not going to emphasize on any texture or fine lines, and it's just going to set that makeup really beautifully. So I have 4 powders to show you guys. I'm going to talk about these guys over here first. This is from Hourglass, and I have the palette, which is the ambient lighting palette. They do have these powders individually, but I just picked up the palette because I think it's just perfect and you get so much product for what you're paying for. So I love to use these to set the under eyes. A lot of people think that these powders are meant to highlight, but they're actually setting powders with a luminosity to it. So they are baked, so it gives you a beautiful glow wherever you are applying that powder without shimmer. I apply these powders under the eyes all the time, especially on clients, on my brides, to give it that bright eye effect, and also gives like this luminosity to the skin without it looking unnatural. It's really, really beautiful. I have two powders from Lauder Mercier, which are amazing. So she's well known for her translucent setting powder, which is an amazing product, but sometimes it can be a little bit too heavy on someone who has dry under eyes. And I think that these powders are a lot better. So I have here the Secret Brightening Powder, which is this very, 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 very soft, finely milled powder. Has these specks of glitter, so it gives you like a bright eye effect. It almost reminds me of the Hourglass, but in a loose version. And then I also have the Mineral Finishing Powder #1, which has this like creamy color to it. It is a beautiful, very soft, silky powder. Like even when you touch it, it feels really silky to the touch. So it is perfect for those of you who want something for your under eye area and it's not going to look heavy at all. And then finally, I have the Urban Decay Velvetizer. This is another beautiful powder. Now this is marketed to mix in with your liquid products to get them to become thicker, but it is a setting powder also, and it is very, very soft, very finely milled. It reminds me of the Secret Brightening Powder, but without the specks of glitter. It is more like a matte powder, but it's not going to mattify it to the point that your under eye looks dry or crepey or anything like that. So for this video, I'm going to take the Lauder Mercier Mineral Finishing Powder in #1. And what I like to do is just use a brush. Now you can go in with a sponge, a damp sponge, if you really want to press the product in, but I recommend just going in with a brush because you're going to apply less product. And with your eyes, under eye being dry, less is more, definitely. So I'm grabbing that product just with this tiny little brush. This is from Morphe, it's the G37. And I grab about that much powder. And then I'm really going to just press the product in with my brush. I also forgot to mention, before you go ahead and apply your powder, you want to make sure there's no creasing under the eyes and just press that in. So just blend out any creasing that you may see under your eyes, because sometimes over time it might crease. This is the final trick, and it's something that I learned from Wayne Goss. He's an amazing makeup artist and gives the best tricks. So I've applied it to myself when I do have really dry under eye. So I grab a nice glowy mist, something very soft, something with a nice fine mist. So I have here two mists that I'm going to show you guys. I have the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, which is one of my favorites to do for this technique, but I also have the affordable alternative, which is the Pixie Glow Mist. It's going to give you the same effect. It's just a little bit more affordable. They are both beautiful products. So I'm going to be using my Tatcha one because that's what I use on a regular basis. So I mix that up. And I grab a sponge that is a little bit damp. Make sure it's kind of clean. Mine, I've used it, but it's okay. And then you're going to go ahead and spray your brush with that mist, or your sponge with that mist. So I spray my sponge with that mist, and I'm going to go ahead and press that under my eyes. And this is really going to make everything look so beautiful. So I'm just pressing that product. So make sure you don't swipe. You really just press it in, and be very light-handed when you're pressing that product in, so you don't move anything around. And that's pretty much it. Now everything is nice and set, everything is nice and hydrating looking, and you know, the concealer is going to stay put. It's nice and set, it's nice and beautiful. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. So that is it, guys. This is the tricks that I've been using for my under eye area, and I think it would be amazing for those of you who have dry skin. My baking trick worked on a lot of people, so why don't you try this one to give you the luminosity that you need underneath your eyes. I know it seems like a lot of steps, but if you want that perfected beat look, that's what you got to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful. Leave your comments down below and let me know your thoughts. And if you tried it out, let me know how it worked out for you. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe so you can join the family and turn on your post notifications so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao!